Okay, so in this lesson we're going to learn how to use brushes and create a poster. There's basically four brush types that we'll be working with, calligraphic, art, bristle, and pattern. And you're going to learn how to apply brushes to paths and edit and paint these paths. You're going to learn how to create art brushes and to create new brushes in Illustrator artwork and also work with the blob brush tool. So getting started, this is what we are going to end up with at the end, something similar to this. And I'm just going to revert back to the original lesson. And just one second here. You'll notice that the missing fonts will come up. You can just go ahead and close that. And then if you have a large number of windows open, you can just go into your workspace and go reset essentials. But you can see we have different paths around the ship here, and what we're going to learn is how to adorn basically this ship and create some textures within the clouds and waves. So the first type of brush we're going to be working with is the calligraphic brush. And basically we want to go into the brush icon or the brush panel, which you'll find here. And if you go to the right drop down menu here, you can see that you can show different types of brushes. And so I'm going to click off pattern brushes, and what I'm going to ask it to do is just show the calligraphic brushes, which show up here in this panel. And I'm in a list view right now. If I wanted the icons, I could go into the thumbnail view, but it'll be easier to select things right now. So the first thing we're going to do is, with using your selection tool, I would like you to select the two paths that you see right along the top of the ship here, like the railing there. And you're going to have to hold down your shift key and select both of these because they are separate paths. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose the 5-point flat brush, and we're going to change our stroke weight to 6. And we're going to give it a color, because you see nothing's happening right now. We're going to give it a color to white. And so now you can see that this path here is now a 6-point stroke in the color white. And then what you're going to do is go ahead and deselect outside, and you just want to go back and select the path on the small top of the boat here. And what we're going to do is we're going to select a stroke color that is a light gray. And there we have that particular use of that brush. And then next we're going to be working with the paintbrush tool. And so with the selection tool, I'm going to select the blue water down below here. And then what I want to do is select the paintbrush tool, and you can, that's letter B, on your keyboard. And then in the brushes palette, what we want to do is we want to go to artistic in the library. So you go down to artistic and then uncheck paintbrush, and then go and pick the first one. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to have the 50-point flat selected. And we want to, so that's going to add to our brush panel. And then if you look over at your brush panel, you'll see that the 50-point flat has been added. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the fill color to none. And then we're going to change the stroke color to dark blue. One thing, we do want to deselect though here. before we go into working with this brush. So I'm going to deselect the water there, and I'm going to select the 50-point flat tool. And again, because we were on the water before, I'm going to go ahead and select none for the fill color. And then we want to select the dark blue for our stroke. And so what we're going to do here then is with using the brush tool, we're going to start from here and draw out. Now I guess the color I selected is not the correct one, so I'll go back there and get that done. Yeah, it should be dark. And so basically you're going to just go ahead and you're going to just create some strokes. And you can see how the strokes change depending on how you bring them out. And it's going to be basically, you can see that they're all coming behind the ship here. And so just go ahead and, you know, just kind of, I don't want that look good. Get that, and that's good enough. Okay, so now you can also edit the paths with the paintbrush tool. So for example, I'm going to go to the select tool, and I'm going to click the path here of this particular stroke that I drew out. And then I'm going to select my paintbrush tool, and you notice I'm coming out here and drawing, and it actually extends that. So that's another way you can extend some of these paths. So again, if I go to the select tool, select the path, and then go to the brush tool, B, grab that point, and you can see how I created the waves there. So anyways, what we're going to do next is we're going to deselect here, and then I'm going to go ahead and save your work, and then I'm going to double click the paintbrush, and you'll notice this options panel that comes up, and we want to click on keep selected. Okay, and we also want to make sure that the fidelity is all the way up to smooth, and then click OK. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the stroke weight to a 0.5, and we're going to grab the medium blue brush. And then what we're going to do here is we're just going to add, go to the brush tool, and then add some more lines. Oops. Okay. And again, I didn't have the whole picture in here, but that's fine. And you can just go back, and these just keep going on top of each other, which is fine. Everybody's going to have a different look. But again, if you remember, you can always go in, taking the selection tool, and then taking your brush tool and bringing these lines out. So you can go ahead, do V, take a path, do B on your keyboard, and you can move those out. Again, V for select. I'll select this blue one. Go B for the brush tool, and again, you can see how you can move those out. So anyways, now what we're going to do next is we are going to get into editing a brush. Okay, now you can change the options for a brush, and you can do this by double clicking the brush you want to change in the brush panel. And then you're going to get a dialog box that's going to come up giving you different brush options. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the 50 flat to a 30 flat. And then we're going to choose our angle at 0. Whoop, make sure that's 0. And then we're going to choose fixed from the menu at the right. Okay, and the rest of it will remain the same except for this last one. We'll change that to 30, and then we're going to go click OK. And then when this comes up, you want to click on Leave Strokes. And then you'll notice that we now have changed the parameters of this brush. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the light color blue. And then we're going to go ahead and draw in the water there. And again, everybody's going to be doing it a little bit differently, and that's totally up to you. Okay, so now what if we want to remove a brush stroke? What we're going to do next is we're going to go over here to this cloud. So selecting the V key on your keyboard, you're going to select this cloud. And here you will see that in the brush panel, okay, we have this little option here that says remove brush stroke. And you can see that the stroke has been removed. We're also going to go over to this panel here and change the stroke to a 0, and then we'll deselect that cloud. So the next thing is we're going to be using art brushes, and we're going to be applying the art brush to the front of the boat. So in the brushes panel, we want to go back to the drop down menu here, and we are going to go show art brushes. So we're going to get rid of the first one, and we'll go ahead and show art brushes. And then we're going to click on the brush library at the bottom, and we're going to go artistic, and we want to get off of the first one, and we'll go back to artistic. Oh, I guess we don't need to do that. And we're going to choose artistic paintbrush. Okay. And then we are in list. If you aren't in list, you can go back and get out a thumbnail view and show the list view. And we're going to select brush 3. And so the artistic paintbrush panel will open up. And again, we want to go into the list view, and we're going to choose brush 3. And then we can go ahead and close this. And then we're going to change the stroke color to white, and we're going to change the fill color to no fill. And we're going to have a 1-point stroke weight. And then we're going to go to the layers panel, and we want to get on the spray tree layer so that the new artwork is put on that layer. And then, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, again, you want to be on your brush tool, the B, and we're just going to draw and you notice that when I had them connected, they were kind of just doing it individually. So you're just going to kind of do some kind of fun little wave type of things here in front of the boat. And once you get that, go ahead and click Save. And we will go on to creating an art brush using a raster image. But this will be the end of part 1. And then in part 2, that's where we'll start creating art brushes.